Hi, this is Ali Arango of ArangoDigitalProduction.com, and today I want to show you how to make a basic human male body uh, inside of Blender. So let's get started. If you're new to Blender, I would recommend that you go to File, User Preferences, Input, and then select with left click. What this will do is just make Blender more like your standard Adobe program or Windows program setup where you select with left click. And you would just click Save User Settings. Okay, the first thing I want you to do is go hit the 1 key on your keyboard number pad. In Blender, you work in two modes generally as far as modeling. You have Object Mode and Edit Mode. Most of our work today is going to be done in Edit Mode. So you're going to hit Tab. Once you hit Tab, you're going to hit W to bring up your Specials menu. You're then going to click Subdivide Smooth. Once Subdivide Smooth comes up, you'll see this Subdivide panel over here. You want to click this to 3. This panel, this button right here, is a proportional edit tool. You can either click here and turn this on, or you can click circle to turn it on as a shortcut. Once that's turned on, you're going to click this vertice right here. You're then going to hit 3 on your number pad to turn to the side. And you're going to hit G. When you hit G, what this G is going to allow you to see is this area of influence right here. When you roll your mouse wheel, this area of influence will either increase or decrease. And the basic way I model bodies, I start out with the head and work my way down, then kind of back up again. So basically what we're doing right here is you're just going to pull the chin out. You're now going to turn to the back and I'm going to hit A to make sure I'm deselected off of that first vertice, and hit A again to deselect everything. Now I'm going to hit C for paint select. Whoops. This right here is your vertex select, your edge select, and your face select. You're going to go to face select, hit C for paint select, and grab these 4 faces here. I'm now going to hit 3, and I'm just going to pull out, hit a grab, and then pull back on the Y-axis. I'm just taking my middle mouse button now and just spinning so I can see the bottom of this head. I'm going to hit A to deselect and then C again to grab these 8 faces here. Most of the time as we're working here, we're typically going to be grabbing 4 or 8 faces. I'm going to hit O as a shortcut to turn this off, the proportional edit off, and I'm going to hit E to extrude to bring this neck out. Alright, now what I'm going to do is hit S to scale and then S to scale and then scale on the X-axis. Hit the X button to scale on the X-axis. Turn to the side, S to scale on the Y-axis. Then turn back. And the way I'm maneuvering my mouse is I'm just maneuvering the scenes as I'm holding in the middle mouse button on my mouse. Alright, now you're going to hit Control R for a loop cut. When you hit Control R, this purple line will show up. When you roll your mouse wheel, you'll get another line. If you roll it the other way, it'll take the line away. So I'm going to roll it twice. Left click to lock in, and then left click one more time to lock in again. Now I'm going to hit S to scale on the X axis, and I'm just pushing my mouse in. Taking my middle mouse, turn to the side. I'm going to hit S to scale on the Y axis. Just getting at the neck right there. Now I'm going to hit A to deselect, C with grab your face select right there. I'm going to hit C and grab these 8 faces on the bottom there. And just like I was saying before, is that we'll tend, as we're developing this body, we'll use 4 and 8. Okay, with these 4 faces selected on the bottom, matter of fact, we'll hit 1 on the number keypad and then 5 to go in orthographic view. And all orthographic view is a view that makes things kind of like a blueprint view. All right, what we're going to do is hit S to scale on the Z axis and then hit 0. And what that does is that flattens out the bottom of this head. You're going to take your manipulator and push down. And by the way, if this manipulator gets in your way, you can hit Control space to take it away, and then Control space to bring it back. But with that manipulator there, and with the orange still selected there, those 8 faces selected there, Now what we're going to do is, and this is a very important thing in pretty much any 3D modeling program, what we're going to do now is we're going to hit the Z key. The reason why we're hitting the Z key is that by hitting the Z key and making this transparent, it allows us to grab the front and the back faces because we want to cut this head in half. So now we're going to hit B to do a box select, grab these faces here, and let's grab the faces because I'm on face mode. Now we're going to hit X and then faces to delete. Now we're going to come over to the this wrench. This is the modifier panel. Remember this command if you're not used to it. You'll use this constantly pretty much in Blender and even in other 3D programs. You're going to click mirror and you can see this other side comes up. And the reason why you do this is that basically, 3D modeling, it's a lot of work, and what this will allow is this allows you basically to do half the amount of work that you normally would do. Okay, with that, you're going to select this clip here. Clipping keeps the model together. And then you're going to click right here to make it look like this side is applied there. All right, so now that we have that, we're just going to continue on. We're going to hit C with the face select here and grab these faces again, and hit 1 on the number keypad. And then when you see these squares here, you can tell that you're in orthographic mode. So we're going to hit E to scale, E to extrude on the Z axis, and see if it's wobbly there, just hit Z again, it'll lock it in. Hit E to extrude, Z again, then E to extrude, and then Z again. And pretty much the way I think of when I'm doing modeling on the body is I want to get the basic body shape. And once I have that in there, then I can go back and refine it. Okay, so now that we have this, what we're going to do is hit 3 to turn to the side. You're going to hit Z to go transparent, hit A to deselect that bottom, select your vertices there, B select, hit B to get a box select, and I'm just going to pull this head back like that. A to deselect, B to grab right here, and I'm just going to pull this back about like that. A to deselect, B. You can see my keys here. I'm saying it because I just want to make sure that you've got two ways of knowing what keys I press. You have here and you have over here. You have me saying, the keys, and you have over here. Okay. Anyway, here's the B to box select. You're going to pull this out a little bit, some shape to the back. Now we're going to hit Y to go to the front, hit A to deselect, hit B for box select. You're going to grab these vertices right here, pull out there, hit Z to make it solid again, A to deselect, C for your face select. A nice thing with this video, even if I'm going kind of fast, it's a video, you can always go back and rewind and, pause and all that good stuff. Okay, now we actually want just you can go to your face select, and another way you can select these other than the C select, you can just hold shift as you're selecting the faces. So what we want to do here is you're going to hit E to extrude on the Z axis, pull down to about there. One of the things whenever you're modeling, especially in, whenever you're modeling in 3D, you're constantly going to be looking pretty much at the front and the side of the model. So you're going to turn to the side, go to your vertex select. I'm going to hit 3 to go to orthographic view, Z, A to deselect, box select, and bring up these vertices like this. B to select, you're just, grabbing these up, pulling them up. A to deselect, B to box select, and I'm going to hit S to scale on the Y-axis, X, and then scale on the Y-axis, I should say. Pull these up just a little bit more. And I'm going to hit Control R to put a loop cut right there. Now what you want to do is go to your face select. I'm going to hold Shift, and you can do it with the C also. I'll go back and forth, just how I tend to model. Then you're going to hit X to delete these faces. Go to your vertex select, grab right here. And I'm just holding my middle mouse button to keep changing my view. Alright, now what you're going to do is grab these 4 vertices right here. And I'm on vertex select here. Hold Shift. Hit F. You're going to turn to the back, do the same thing. Click here. There's many different ways to model the body. This is my own way. I got this through, you know, a couple of different people. Now that we have that, you're going to come here. Make sure you're in face select. Grab these faces right here. Now you're going to hit S to scale on the Y-axis. I'll actually just pull this one vertex out here. Okay, so now you have your basic, you know, your setup to pull the leg out. Okay, now what you're going to do is go to your edge select. You're going to hold Alt on the keyboard. Select right here. You're going to hit E to extrude and start pulling that leg out to about here. You're then going to hit the W to bring up your specials menu, then smooth. W to bring up, hit specials and smooth again. And it's generally this thigh, you want it to be about 3 or 4 segments, so bring it down. And this is one that, remember I told you you have to constantly look to the side and to the back. Now you're going to hit E to extrude again. And now we're going to hit S to scale, Y-axis, turn to the side, pull this back just a little bit. And my modeling style, I kind of like, a lot of times I like to not use a reference. I mean, to me, this just generally style, again, like what I generally like to do is like get the basic body shape down, and then once I have it down, then maybe pull in a reference later if, you know, if I think it's needed. But that's generally what I want to show you here, just a basic, you know, body that you can manipulate later in sculpting and, you know, some other things like that. But anyway, see how this is right here. We're going to make this flat, and the way we're going to do it is very similar to what we did with the bottom of the neck. You're going to hit S to scale, the Z-axis, and then hit 0 on the keyboard. On your keyboard, you know, your regular numbered keyboards at the top of your keyboard, not to the side. And that's a very useful thing, so keep that in mind. It's definitely useful when you need to flatten things out. So you're going to hit E to extrude, Z to go down, S to scale on the X-axis, turn to the side, S to scale on the Y-axis, pull it back just slightly. All right, now we're going to hit E to extrude again, the Z-axis, and we're going to just pull this back just a little bit more. Now you're going to hit E to extrude, Z-axis again, S to scale on the X-axis, and you see that how if you didn't turn to the side from the front, it doesn't look too bad. So anyway, you're going to hit S to scale on the Y-axis. You don't want this line right here in front of that thigh, so you're going to pull back like that, switch back to the front, E to scale, Z-axis, X to scale. I hope I said extrude, but it's extrude to go down, extrude Z, then X to scale, S to scale on the X-axis. All right, turn to the side, see that? There you go again. Hit S to scale, Y-axis, E to extrude, Z-axis, S to scale, X-axis. And this thing, the reason why I like it is, I mean, you can, it's, once you get this down, if you watch this tutorial and you really, whoops, E to extrude on Z-axis, once you get this general way of doing this down, I mean, you'll find that you'll be able to fly in making bodies. And once you're able to make a general humanoid body, I mean, that humanoid body can be all kinds of different humanoid creatures. Like, for instance, you could just make this body the base body and just use it over and over again. But depending on how far you want to go as far as your modeling, I recommend you're probably better off actually starting off from a square and just as much as possible, at least at first, doing it over and over again. But anyway, you're going to hit E to scale, Z-axis, E to extrude again, Z-axis, E to extrude again, Z-axis, and then E to extrude one more time, about half the way down is the other way. Then you're going to hit F. You see that right there? That hole. Hit F to fill. All right, now what you're going to do is go to your face select. See how this thing sometimes gets in the way? I'll show you. Let's see if it gets in the way here. It's not doing too bad there. If it gets in the way, you just hit Control Space to take it away, Control Space to bring it back. Actually, I want to grab, see it got in the way there, so I hit Control Space. I just want to grab these bottom three right here. I'm just holding Shift and just selecting them individually with the face. See, it's got a slight curve to it, so what I'm going to do is hit S to scale on the Y axis and hit 0 at the top of my keyboard. It flattens that out. Now I'm going to hit E to scale on the Y axis, bring it out like there. E to scale, Y again. E to scale, Y again. And again, this is my own method. There's many different ways of doing it. I like this. Once you get the steps down, you can pretty much fly. And then, again, you're going for the basic shape, then you just come back later. So you're going to hit A to deselect here. Hit Z to make your mesh transparent. Make sure you're still in your faces. You're going to hit B to box select. Whoops. Hit B to box select. Grab back to here. Turn it back to the front. Hit Z to make it easier. Hit S to scale on the X-axis. There you go. Nice brick-like, foot there, whatever. Hit the edges. Hit this edge right here. Hold Shift. Whoops. Just want to grab there. There you go. Hold Shift. And when I'm turning the view, I'm just turning it so I can see the best view, so I can see what I'm doing. So you're gonna hit G. And then you're going to scale on the Y. So I hit the G key, and I'm just pushing forward to get there. Now what you're going to do is hit the O key. Now see right here how this isn't showing anything? You're going to hit the O key to turn this on. That's your proportional edit. And bear in mind that Blender responds to where you're over. So if you're over here and you hit O, you'll probably, if I hit O now, it'll deactivate. If I hit O again, it'll turn on. But if I go here and hit O, you see how nothing happens. So Blender, what your keyboard shortcuts matter, whether you're over here or over here. So if you're hitting here and hitting O and nothing happens, it's because you need to be over this viewpoint. It takes a while to get used to, but you'll get it. So anyway, I'm hitting O, make sure this is on. Now you're going to go to these faces here. Then you're going to hit G, and the main reason you're hitting G is to get that area of influence to show up. Then you're going to hit Y. Whoops, sorry, Z. You see how that line is going up and down, showing me which way I'm pulling it? I'm hitting G to get that area of influence to show up. Then I'm hitting Z to make it so I can only go up and down. And you're just getting that so you can shape the foot a little bit like that. Okay, now what you're going to do is just hold your middle mouse button and turn. And again, you just maneuver wherever you need to get a good view. You're going to go to your vertex select. Grab these three vertices right here, and see how that mirror modifier is beautiful. I grabbed these three right here and the three over there. You can imagine having to do this for every side, how unbelievably tedious that would be. I'm sure there's a time and a place for it, but anyway, you're gonna hit G. Now see that area of influence is too big, so you're gonna roll your mouse wheel. Yep, kind of like that. We'll grab here. Grab three vertices right there. There you go. And the one thing, as you're modeling and learning modeling, the main thing with this stuff, you're just pushing and pulling vertices. Pushing and pulling vertices. Oops, you know what? Let me hit G and then X to make sure I'm not pulling it up. Okay, there we go. All right, now what we're going to do is go back up the body. Hit 3 on your number keypad all the way to the right. Hit Z to turn transparent, which allows us to grab these vertices. We're just going to pull these, get ready to pull an arm out of here. Using box select to grab these two vertices. I'm hitting Control Space. Bring my manipulator back, and whoops, I don't want that. Hit Control Z. I don't want that manipulator proportional on, so I'm going to hit circle to get that off. And I'm going to hit, just drag these vertices back like there. All right, A to deselect, Z to make it transparent. I'm going to hit Control R, one of the most useful, one of the things I use constantly anyway. You want a loop cut right there. Now what you're going to do is grab these 4 vertices here, turn so you can see. You're going to hit E to extrude on the X-axis, just like that. Okay, matter of fact, before we do this next part, if you're new to Blender, one of the things you definitely want to turn on, and I'll show you this real quick, go to File, User Preferences. Should have showed you this before. Go to Add-ons. One of the things you want to do is make sure you have loop cut tools turned on. These are add-ons that are in Blender, and I guess that they're turned off so that it doesn't confuse new people. See this right here, mesh loop tools. You want that. You're just going to put a check in there, and if you want to save it for the next time, I don't know if you want to save user. Just click right here, and that should allow you to do this. So once you have with these pulled out, what you're going to do is hit W to bring up your special menus, and then there's that loop tool up top. You're going to hit circle. Automatically makes this round, which is awesome. And then we're going to hit E to extrude on the x-axis. Imagine this is a bicep right here. Imagine this is half the bicep. So now we're going to hit, actually it's turned to the side, see how it looks. Okay, we're going to hit E to extrude on the x-axis again. Now we're going to hit S to scale on the Z-axis. When I first was learning how to do bodies, I didn't understand the difference between doing just scale and then scaling with Z and then scaling Y. All right, don't be like me. I just scaled. All right, when you're shaping the body, you're trying to get like any kind, even like a small semblance of muscle, like we're doing right here. What you want to do is remember this: S to scale on the Z, and then turn to the side, and then S to scale on the Y. All right, so you can see if we go to the side, it looks kind of funny. We're gonna hit S to scale on the Y. All right, and then even for we'll come back for that. Now we're gonna hit E to extrude on the X-axis. This is gonna be, imagine this is we're pointing out the forearm right here. So we're gonna hit S to scale on the Z-axis. Because you might say, oh well, why don't I just scale? You know, just scale. Trust me, you have more control. And you're better doing S than Z than S than Y. All right. So you're gonna hit E to extrude on the X-axis. All right. So this is kind of like the forearm there. You're gonna S to scale on the Z. You know, pulling it in and come back. You can come back later and put in loop cuts and stuff and make it a little bit more, you know. This tutorial actually did this before, and it was long. So I'm trying to, you hear me speaking fast, I'm like, all right, I don't want to make the tutorial that long. I was trying to explain a lot of things. Hopefully this is adequate now, but it really was too long. And later on, see how the arms are a little bit long, we can always come back and I'll even show you how to do that. But anyway, this part right here is important. This is the hand, and I like this. I learned this from an old, oh, look at that. See, I didn't look to the side. So you're just going to grab these faces to fix that. This hand part I learned from an old Jonathan Williamson tutorial. I'm hitting S to scale on the Y-axis. There you go. All right, now this is going to be the wrist part. You're going to hit E to extrude on the X-axis, bring it out. S to scale on the Z-axis. And now with this is going to be beginnings of the hand. You actually want this to be wider, like kind of like that, right? All right. I'm going to hit one on the number keypad to get this view. I'm going to E to extrude on the X-axis, right? Pop it out like that. Actually, I want it longer than that, so I'm just going to see if you make it. And suppose you like, see how I went and extrude it and it was a little bit too short. That's a situation where you can just pull this, pull a handle and make it bigger that way, all right? All right, now you're going to hit E to extrude on the X-axis again. And now you're going to do one more E extrude X-axis, and it's going to be about half that, all right? This is my version of making a hand. I mean, there's lots of different ways of making a hand. This is my particular version. It's probably, I like to do hands quick, and then like just the whole general thing in the model, come back and refine it later if need be. And if you guys need to with this part, I would recommend just come back and watch. I'm going to try to go through here fairly quickly. It's a little bit complicated, but not too much. Your basic shape, see, if you look at it, imagine this as being a wine glass. All right, so you've got this section here, which is kind of like the wrist. Then you've got these loops here, these faces, and then these thin faces right here. What you're going to do is you're going to, actually before that, right here, see this right here? And if you remember this general setup, you can fly through a model. So again, it's like a wine glass. You got your wrist, your thumb part right here. This is where the finger's going to come from. So what you're going to do here is select this this loop cut. I mean this face. Extrude. I'm just hitting extrude, no access, right? Now I'm going to hit S to scale down for the joint a little bit. E to extrude. Again, just letting it extrude on its own. I'm going to hit S to scale and the Z to just bring it in a little bit. E to extrude. And then E to extrude again, because the thumb we're just going to make this thumb with two. It's just going to have this part, letting it come out, then you've got your two joints, all right? This part right here, what you're going to do is select these faces. You're going to hit X to delete these faces. You're going to go to the top view, and we're going to, for this, you're just going to cut right here. The way we're going to cut is there's a tool called the knife tool. Do I want this now? I want to still on faces. You're going to hit K to bring up the knife tool. This will come up. You can see where the knife tool is going to get it. Highlights, right? You're going to click right next to this dot. Make sure it's highlighted right there. You're going to click up to here. Click, 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 and then enter your keyboard to lock that in. All right. Now you're going to come down to the bottom part, and instead of just these 4, you're going to get these 6. All right. So the knife tool again. You're going to hit K. Click, click, click. Hit enter. All right, now generally the way this hand is, what you're probably going to wonder, like, why are we going to leave this part right here? You generally in modeling, particularly in Blender, you want to use quads and not triangles for the most part. At least that's how I was taught. Anyway, you're going to select these faces here, hold Shift, grab these 4 vertices. Whoops. Here, hold Shift, click here. Here we have vertices select on. Now we're going to hit F to fill that. Now we're going to go here, 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 and here. Hit F. Here, here, here. You can imagine the same sequence. F, here, here, here. Whoops, crap. Here again, I'm just clicking there just to do a deselect rather than deselect. And if I click there without anything, typically it'll deselect the other vertices. I'm clicking here, 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 and here. Same thing we did with there. Hit F. The reason why I left these blank is because if I click here, here, and here, it's going to be a triangle. All right. So I don't want to do that until I do this. Control R. Now I've got a loop cut there. I left click the lock and then. Now before I click again, I can drag it down some. And this will give me the points that I need to have this be, oops. Got to be careful of that. See, I thought I was grabbing that one vertex and I grabbed beyond it. So I click there, here, here, and here. And it gives me my, whoops, crap. Oh, crap. There it goes. I hit G by accident. All right, so you're going to do there for your fill. So now I have 4 instead of the 3, which is what I wanted. So now we have there. And now what you're going to do is you are going to go to your vertex, select. You're going to hit E to extrude. Pull this out. I'm just letting it extrude where it wants to, kind of where Blender wants to. I'm going to hit S to scale. Just letting it scale on its own down some. E to extrude. First finger joint. I'm kind of watching. I'm just going to pull to make that a little bit longer. I'm going to hit E to extrude again. I'm going to hit S and then Z to scale it down a little bit on the Z axis. E to extrude again. E to extrude again. And then E to extrude for that last finger joint. You know, he's come back and changed the length of these and all later. Again, that's just the basic shape. Now we're generally going to repeat this pattern. The main difference here with this second finger, be careful when you bring it out so it's not totally against that when you're going to hit E to extrude, just like before, right? Now where it's slightly different, you're going to have to, constantly be looking around, changing your angle. Now where it's slightly different, you're going to hit S to scale it down some, right? Now you're going to hit just slightly. You're going to hit R to rotate on the Z axis. And to see that line, you can see how it rotates there. You don't want to take it too much, just slightly away so it's from the other finger. And it's kind of like weird. You got to be careful. I'm going to hit R, readjust it just slightly away. There you go. E to extrude. I'm going to scale down just a little bit. I'm going to hit, see how long that thing is. I'm going to hit S to scale on the Z axis. E to extrude for a little knuckle thing there. This is going to be the middle finger, so it'll be a little bit longer than the other one. And like I said, the main thing I think about when I do this model is I just extruded again another knuckle. Then there's the last joint. The main thing I'm thinking about is just getting it so that I can come back and, you know, get the basic hand, basic body down first. And let me try to do this without taking forever. Hitting E to extrude. Remember what I told you. You want this to go, hit S to scale down, just slightly away so you're from the other finger here. See how it's kind of trajectory is like running into that would be. You're going to hit R to rotate, Z axis. Not too much. You don't want to crowd the other finger too much either. That should be good. E to extrude. Oh, it's coming close there. I think it should be good. See how long that sucker is? You're going to hit S on the Z axis. E to extrude again. E to extrude again. I'm going to S to scale on the Z axis. E to extrude again. Yep, hands are kind of tedious. But obviously necessary. E to extrude again. Make this one a little bit shorter. S the scale on the Z axis. And we'll yeah, so you can always come back. Okay, here's the last finger. Yay. Here's E to extrude. Scale down. Remember, rotate Z axis slightly. Don't overdo it, people. You can always come back, but you're better off, you know. Somebody out there is like, that hand looks funky. Hand looks strange. Okay, yeah, whatever. Remember what I said? Basic, you know, basic thing. Let me hit, I'm actually hit Control Z because I didn't look. Probably very long. Yep, look at that long sucker. You know what? Let me hit Control Z again. I'm sorry, people. Hit S to scale on the Z axis. Don't do what I just did. As in not looking, I mean. You need to Control Z, Control Z. That's the beautiful thing about computer programs. Wouldn't it be nice to have Control Z in life? You mess up and Control Z. Ugh. He's so lovely, but anywhere in here you do have Control Z, so you mess it up, Control Z. Bring it out. Sorry, extrude is how I brought it out. Hopefully you guys have got that now. E to extrude, bring it out. Click, you know, lock it in. E to extrude again, bring it out. And I'm going to push back a little bit to pinky finger and hit S to scale on the Z axis. Okay, now you have the general hand there. And again, that beautiful mirror mode. You can imagine we would have to do that for the other hand. You see how long his arms are. We can actually go right here. The general body is generally done, and basically what we can do right here is like this stuff right here. We'll hit Z, hit let me hit A to deselect, hit B, we'll grab this arm right here. Now what we'll do is hit S to scale on the X axis. See that right there? And just, you know, shorten it up so it's not that big now. We can even shrink it down, hit just scale, pull it in a little bit more. That's the thing, once you have that basic body. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to select the entire thing, hit A to select the whole thing. We're then going to go to Add Modifier, Subdivision Surface, and then you're going to go to here where it says View 1 and click here. You're then going to click this right here, this menu over here, and click Shading Smooth. And now you see if I hit Tab, I can go out and look at it. Look at him, nice, smooth, you know, general guy, blah, blah, blah. Then we can come back to the hand. His nice see how it's kind of got like, you can see like this part here is like transparent. Just come over here and click this button right here, and it, you know, I don't want to explain it because I'll probably ramble and take a long time. But there was a guy who I did a head tutorial when I was having sound sync problems and all that stuff. And there's a guy the other day named Peter Walker, cool dude, gave me a compliment and psyched me up, inspired me. So I said, let me go ahead and make this tutorial. So Pete, this is for you. Hope you like it. Anyway, see how this hand right here is there? You're going to hit O to turn your proportional edit, G to see your proportional edit, and then you're just going to push that hand part up right there. Then we got this part right here. We'll grab this. G, push up there a little bit. Okay, and now we're gonna look at from the top. See that wrist there? Remember I told you once you get the general shape, so you can come back and refine. You just hit your you're gonna hit your edge select now. Hold the Alt key, select this line right here, and then we're gonna hit S to scale on the Y. Oh, turn off this proportional edit. Hit circle to turn that off. You can see it's off there. You're gonna S to scale on the Y axis, and that wrist better looking there. And we'll turn. You're constantly turning on the look. Now we just turn here at S to scale on the Z axis. Refine that a little bit. Same thing here. We'll hit hold Alt, select. We still have the edge select on there. Now we're gonna hit S to scale the Z axis. Look at the top view. S to scale Y axis. We'll go to hit this right this loop right here. S to scale Y axis. While we're up there, grab that loop there, bicep loop, S to scale in the Z axis. Same thing here. And you can just, it's cool how once you got that general shape, I mean, you can come in. This is when it starts to get more fun because you can, shape and play. And so there's your general shape. I mean, you can come in. This is mainly what I wanted to show you guys. Now, once you have it, you have this subdivision. You can come in, and I'm just grabbing these loops, and I am just scaling a little bit and making them a little bit more muscular there. But there's a general shape, and you can just play with that. Other things you can do. Now, you see the back of somebody, right? Helps to get some look at some bodybuilders. This line right here, you can just grab that line, select it, and kind of push it in to give you a little bit of that the indent that's in people's backs. I mean, you can take it from here and hopefully, do all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, this gave you now have the general shape. You now have the general shape of the body, and you can use this for an armature. This arm, I mean, you can obviously come in here with this hand, and, play with this, push in these vertices, manipulate these fingers and all. But I just generally wanted to show you guys the how to get the general shape, to get the general loop cuts where you could come in here and play around. Thank you guys for watching. The guys like Pete, like I said, I mean, he really inspired me. Give me a compliment. I really appreciate when you say things in a comment. I mean, a lot of times you're making tutorials, you're like, oh, I messed this up, I messed that up. But thank you guys for viewing this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped you out. If you like this channel and want to see more, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.